Mo part of Improv?
A resting intermission. I mean, I had such a great time. Time to start the show, guys. Yay! Roboman? Roboman! What have they done to you? It's okay, Roboman. It's okay. Let's start our next game, guys. Welcome back from intermission. I hope you had a fun time. I hope you got some pins or some hot chocolate. Our next game is called Press Conference. And so, as you can see, there's a bunch of improv members in the crowd. They will be asking our very special guests, and I meant plural, questions as to what they have completed. So before I introduce the highlight of the show, could we get a prompt that starts with the first person to blank?
The first
person to create Roboman. The first person to throw a birthday party.
I don't want the bell.
Improv the nation.
Bell! I have my decision. First person to decorate a tree. All right. Now, let me go get our very special guests.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Thank you for coming to see us all for this conference. I'm Gray.
I'm Anjali. We are so glad that you're joining us tonight, and we are ready to answer some questions. So let's see those hands.
Let's get started.
Yeah, right here in the front.
Hi, I'm Dennis from the Lumberjack Association. I was just wondering, how would you do that? Like we do our work, we chop those trees down, and we don't even use it like correctly. Just kind of put it there, and then what are you thinking?
Yeah, I guess like for me, I'm a man of the woods. So taxidermy was a big inspiration for me. You just kind of put it up there and then it doesn't do anything and it's like, ugh, just like you said. Yeah, next question.
All right, over here.
Hi, hi, my name is Josh from Real or Fake Incorporated. Do you prefer to use the real ones or like the fake ones?
First of all, I love the name. Second off, I think for me and Gray, we are both naturalists. We love everything natural. We only eat organic food all the time.
Honestly,
no GMOs.
Being here in clothes was a struggle for us today.
No, it really was. You would not believe. So I think for us...
It was a fight.
Yes, for Gray more than me. But, I think for us, we always want to stress that we're always going the natural way. Natural is number one, baby. So we don't trust that fake stuff. Not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, next question. Yeah, you right there in the tie?
Hello, I'm Josephine. I'm currently studying interior design, and I'd like to say I've always been more of a minimalist, but thanks to your guys' discovery, I'm finally able to branch out in my interests, and I'd like to thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, that's one of the reasons that we did what we did. We hate minimalism. We actually, this was a product of a study that we did about millennials and minimalism and their obsession over it, and we, as Gen Z, have a problem with it. So that is why we did what we did.
In the back.
Hi, I'm Jared. I'm from a nature reserve. My main question is, why did you take these beautiful beings and turn them into something they're not? I think they're fine just the way they are in nature. and don't need any additional, stuff on them.
You know, and I'm aware that this is contentious, but me and Gray, we have a philosophy.
Yeah.
And this philosophy is sometimes when what's on the inside isn't so good, you gotta change it a little bit.
Yeah, just what I was gonna say. It can always be better.
Oh yeah, I mean, we even follow that with us. You know, one day I told Gray, I think your laugh, it needs some fine tuning.
Yeah, if I'm being honest right now, I hate the pants you're wearing. So.
And I will be changing them the second we walk off this stage. So we are committed to always making things better.
Yeah, any more questions? Yeah, you in the front?
Hi, I'm Dan from Jingle Jangle Incorporated. And I was just wondering, the star at the top. Where did the inspiration come from? Was it like the flag of the United States, or was it just like looking up there in the sky?
Honestly, we have always been huge patriots. So it really was the flag of the United States. Betsy Ross made a hole in my heart that could only be filled by what we did. You agree?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Here.
Hi. I was just wondering, was there any story behind some of the round things that are on there? Like the one that's a picture of you guys. Is there anything behind that? You've put up an example for us right here. It's very kind.
Oh, sure. You noted the photo of us?
Yeah. The little round thing with the photo on you. Is there like a story behind it? Is it special or no?
I think with every Christmas tree that we design, we really want to make sure that it is personable and that it is catered to the people that it is going to. For our tree, what did we put on it, Gray?
We put an imprint of our big toes because we just kind of thought that the hand thing was overrated. It was getting a little old. Yeah. So thank you for coming to our conference about how we made the first Christmas tree.
No, like it's like an improv. Now. No, I think she raised it. I think she's supposed to.
All right. Our next game is going to be dating game. This calls for four improvers, which is Wonder Boy, Kooky, the Kid, and Beetle. So, one of our improvers, it's the set of a dating show. I guess it's the Kid, is going to be our bachelor, and the rest are going to be contestants of the dating show, who are going to be assigned. What did you take to my stool? Are going to be assigned a character with a quirk, a celebrity, and just like a regular character, with no quirk needed. So can we please? Well, sorry, I got ahead of myself there. Ari is gonna come back, he's gonna sit down on this chair, and then he's gonna ask some questions and try to guess who they are. So can we please have a celebrity?
Danny. You gotta do Danny.
Danny DeVito.
Elf on the Shelf. Coolest celebrity ever. Every household. Can we get a person with a quirk?
Shoes are made of cement. Can turn into a walrus.
All right, can we hear from this section, please?
Someone who believes they may or may not be a walrus.
Answer the pants.
Okay, can we go back to the... Okay. They really like cowboy boots. And can we please get just a character? It could be from a book, from a movie.
Roboman! Roboman!
Roboman.
Yeah!
Alright, I think that's really. I'll be back.
I think the problem might have been you.
Oh wait, I need the bell. Welcome to my royal dating show, where I will be choosing the next person to become the royal partner. I see we have a very interesting selection here. So let's get started. Bachelor number 1. Bachelor number 1.
Oh,
Hello.
sorry, I'm not used to that. Whew. Took a lot out of me. Sorry. Yes, hi.
Hi, where would you take me on a first date?
Well, I think I have a pretty nice crib. You know, it's high up. Not a lot of people can see us. It'll be really nice, except for, like, people want to come by, see if, I move a lot, somehow.
I see.
Yeah, I'm a mysterious guy.
I see. Interesting. Strong candidate. Bachelor number 2, same question. Where would you take me on a first date?
Well, I think I'd like to take you somewhere really in nature, where we can be on the frontier and live our lives to the fullest, but I think there has to be paved roads. Because, it just gets a little bit messy otherwise, and I like to stay neat. I think I want to walk on a paved road.
Okay. Interesting. Yes, paved roads are one of the best parts of modern society. Yes. Bachelor number 3, same question. First date. Where would you take me?
Well, I think that what would be very lovely would be a sleigh ride. Some lovely weather, sleigh ride together. Maybe a little jig happening, a little bit of dance. But that would be my ideal date.
Okay. Very, very holiday. I liked it. Bachelor number 1. Yes, you. Hi. What would you say are some of your hobbies? Things you like to do?
Hobbies.
For fun.
Well, I'd say I'm kind of like an intern. I like people watching. They're interesting creatures. But I don't just do it for fun. I'm a working man, always working, always. I report to my CEO. The big guy.
Ah, yeah,
Big
yeah,
guy.
yeah. No, it
Not
must be
like-
very lonely being all by yourself.
I wouldn't say that, but the kids always keep me company. They
It's true. Yeah.
when they're not throwing.
Yeah. Well, that's my bad. I did not know. I'm sorry.
Just a little bit of it there, if I had.
Let's move on, shall we? Bachelor number 2. Same question. What are some of your hobbies? Some things you like to do for fun?
Well, I really like to collect, to polish, to shine. In fact, when I have this giant collection, and it's beautiful. And let me show you what I do with it. I go and I go like this, and then I go. And it's so cool. You should check it out sometime. I think you'd love to walk a mile in my boots.
Okay. That's interesting. All right. Bachelor number 3, same question. Hobbies, things you like to do for fun, to entertain yourself.
So, as I mentioned before, I do like dancing little jigs. But in my spare time, I do oversee my own company. Yeah, it's full of a lot of slackers, but I make sure that we get our work done.
Okay. Interesting. Bachelor number 1. What are
what are some of the core values that you see as important in a person, you know? Whether it be a friend or a potential partner.
Well, they can't ask me questions about
Okay.
my job.
Yeah,
If you give me a moment, I think they're watching.
no problem. Take your time. Can't be giving false information to the boss, now can we?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know exactly.
exactly.
Like,
Gotta be
strangers
honest.
don't get it. But yes,
You have a job.
things that I'm looking for in a partner. Definitely someone who likes to sit around. You know, just
Yeah,
enjoy the view. Be with me.
not always in the same spot though. It changes like every.
Not always.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Variety.
travel. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a traveling man. I appreciate travel. And obviously, you know, like, can't interfere with my work.
Yeah,
Again,
no,
working all the
completely
time, you know?
understood. I have
Even
an
though
important
it's-
job myself.
One season. Seasonal.
No, but important. Job's a job. Job's a job. Bachelor number 2. Same question. What are some values you find important as a person?
I think, well, I value some good leather. When you put it on and then it's on there and then it's like, and then you walk. And it's beautiful. And it's like I'm in the past and I'm like, and then I'm running and then I'm going. And then there's cows and it's so cool.
I see. Okay, good to know. Bachelor number 3, same question. Some values that you find important in a person.
I believe that a person should always have a holly jolly spirit. You know, they can appreciate lovely days and lovely winter weather. And as I keep on mentioning, someone who really likes to do little jigs.
Little jigs, how interesting. Well, I'm not much of a dancer, I'm sorry, so. Yeah, okay, I think I've made a decision. Well, Bachelor number 1, as much as I do like an elf on the shelf, I was a little bit creeped out by you as a child. So I think I'm going to have to pass on you, but good luck on your job.
It's okay.
Okay. Thanks, I got a little... Thought I'd ripped your leg off again. Sorry about that again, by the way. I thought you were very creepy. Anyway, Bachelor number 2. I am not really into frontiersmen or...
Oh, I appreciate that you think I'm one. No, I'm just a big fan of the collection. I'd love to walk a mile in their shoes. Of the culture, not the collection. I collect the culture. I think it's cool.
A collector of some Wild West or...
Well, yeah, I mean, I told you, I'd love to walk a mile in their shoes. You know, my favorite song, These Boots Were Made for Walking, and I only think about exclusively the Wild West when I'm walking in those boots.
Someone who has a collection of Wild West shoes?
Yeah, sure.
Collector.
It's someone who really likes cowboy boots.
Oh. No, thank you. I'm not interested in that era of history. Bachelor number 3. You know, you seem to be a very Christmassy person. Someone who's very into Christmas. Any particular reason why?
Oh, I think I was just designed that way, you know, out of the box and onto the shelves. I've just always been a holly jolly energy in the world. You know, some people confuse my name for Noel.
Sorry,
It's like a giant Noel. It's like a giant name tag on the center of my chest, but my name is not one of that. Oh, that's my favorite song
I
in the
actually
entire
am a
world.
big fan of Roboman.
I'm not starting the cheer.
For not
Okay.
This is mine. Thank you. Oh, I have to get up.
Roboman!
Okay.
Now, it is time for a game called Good Cop, Bad Cop. Or, as it is also known, can I please?
Yeah.
As it is also known, Mean Cop, Bean Cop. In this game, one of our, this game calls for 3 improvers, TBD, Dunebuggy, and Kooky. And one of our suspects will leave, yes, Kooky will leave, and is a suspect in an interrogation. Now, these 2 cops know the crime, Kooky does not. One of them is the good cop, one of them is the bad cop. Can we get an interesting crime like impersonating Wonder Boy, or
Impersonating Roboman? That's like a weird place. Tax fraud.
They forgot to, I have to be a little quieter, sorry. They forgot to brush their teeth before bed. Ew.
I love Bean Cop, Bean Cop.
We're officially taking the day. Buster.
I'm a Fortnite streamer.
2 times. That's all you need. But it seems forgot a little something, didn't you? Forgot a little something, didn't you?
It's okay. We all forget, and it's just a recommendation. But, you know, you should do it.
I don't know how I could be expected to do 2 times, but I can barely get 2 victory royales in a row.
That's rancid. That's disgusting. It's just so discolored.
Mr. Cop, sir.
It's not your fault, okay? It's hard to remember. You're like, I'm so sleepy. I'm about to, you know, turn off my Fortnite computer.
I am really sleepy.
Yeah, I get it. But all we want is a confession, okay?
Just say it.
I confess to being probably the worst Fortnite gamer in the world.
That was. We didn't need you to, you know, tell us that.
Yeah, we know. It's on your record. It's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. You know.
We just think maybe there's room for improvement. No. Maybe you've been doing it just once, but you really need that extra time.
There's not much room in my brain for anything other than Fortnite.
I don't know what they say.
What do they say?
They say, you know, once in the morning to keep your friends, once at night to keep your teeth.
You know what they say.
I just start eating so many different candies, and I drink my Mountain Dew while I play my Fortnite, and I know it's not so good for my teethies, but
look at these dental records. Look at them.
I know, and we're skipping our trips to the orthodontist.
It's so bad.
Look, okay, I'm sure that not everyone brushes their teeth twice in a day. Right?
Yeah. But you know, you were really close. You had the morning. It was just one more thing you had to do.
I got so caught up in my games. I couldn't brush them at night.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're not doing this.
Our next game is Voices from Heaven for the improvers The Kid, Wonder Boy, and Dunebuggy.
I thought we were doing the bench.
Oh, yes. Smart. I forgot.
That was a fake out. We're keeping you on your toes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is improv.
It's called improv for a reason.
In this
Improvers
game,
does it take to move a
we will have
every improver.
we will have an apocalyptic event as a prompt. Each person will take turns giving monologues for about 1 minute until this will go in 3 rounds, and in the final round, it will be their deaths. So they will each have 3 separate jobs, and during this apocalyptic event, their lives will intertwine, and at the end, they'll all die. So can we get an apocalyptic event in the format, it was the day blank. It was the day
I saw John Cena. It was the day the world exploded. It was the day... It's third now. Let's try one section at a time. Can I get the middle section first?
It was... Whatever you want to do.
No.
No.
No Ohio in ours.
Keep it going.
No Ohio.
How about that section? It was the day Chuck E. Cheese took over. Can we get 3 professions, 3 jobs? A moral philosopher. Okay. The kid will be a mortician. A philosopher.
You don't get to say this.
I mean, I'm not in the game. I want to be a philosopher so bad.
Philosophist? You can't even say philosopher.
We have Dunebuggy as a philosopher. More jobs, please.
An Instagram vlogger.
Disney Channel actor. We have Wonder Boy as a ventriloquist. Yeah! Right, as a review, it was the day Chuck E. Cheese took over. We have
Mortician.
a philosopher. Okay, you may begin.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I am a mortician. And this is the story of how I died. So the other day, right, I got a phone call at the cheery-eyed mortician center, and I pick up my phone, and it's just a voice saying, "We need you at Chuck E. Cheese." I'm like, okay, that's not normally what I do, but why? They're like, "We seem to have a problem with Chucky. He doesn't seem to be working correctly." I was like, that's weird. I mean, I guess I can do it because I need the money, but I said, put the phone down. I was like, well, Chuck E. Cheese was never alive, right? So why would they need me? That's just weird. So I get in my little mortician mobile. That's a hearse, but I like to call it a mortician mobile. Okay, it's fine. And I drive, and as I walk in the door, the memories of my childhood hit me like a brick. I looked at the little machine where you press the button as like the things line up and you get so many tickets. And I remember I got 200 tickets and I was able to get a limited edition pink neon laser sword. Oh, that sword was so cool. And then I looked to my right and I remember the claw machine where I spent my entire 8th birthday because nobody came. So it was just me, but I got 16 plushies and I lost $300. It was really worth it. And there was a birthday party going on, but in the corner I see Chucky just kind of standing like, So like I go over to him and I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? So I pull out my little bag of mortician tools and I pull out like a little reflex hammer and I just tap his knee and nothing. I go over and I see a button. So I pressed the button.
So, I pressed the button. But what is a button? When you really think about it, isn't everything a button? That's what I said to the guy who was running the experiment. I needed some extra cash, philosophers gotta eat. And he was like, dude, just push the button. It is literally a test of whether or not people will push buttons. So anyway, I got out of there pretty quick. I got kicked right out, wouldn't push the button. And I was looking at the board of other things people might pay for, and I saw a quit gig at Chuck E. Cheese. And I said, what is a Chuck E. Cheese? If you think about it, it's just a microcosm of our world with all the tickets. And then I saw that they were paying like $1,000 to sit in their Chuck E. Cheese suit for like 5 hours. And I was like, sweet, sign me up. I can do some random kid's birthday party. What is a birthday party? Am I right? So I show up to the gig, I'm all chipper as a philosopher can be, and I put on the suit, and it's really hot in there, and I put on the head, and I'm ready to start my day at this kid's birthday party. He comes up to me and he goes, Chucky, will my 8th birthday party be the best you've ever seen? And I said, it's really hard to cross your legs in a Chuck E. Cheese suit. What is an 8th birthday party?
What is an 8th birthday party? That's what I asked myself when I was going to take this gig. I was at my ventriloquist house with my ventriloquism puppet. This is Daniel. And I was just speaking to Daniel. I said, Daniel, well, we've done all that can be done. We've traveled the world with ventriloquism as our avenue for fame. What is next? And Daniel said, I don't know. But maybe we should look on the internet. So then we did. I scrolled through the interwebs with my one hand because Daniel, he's my left-hand man. And I'm just typing away and I'm looking at ventriloquist jobs in North Carolina because that's where I live. And I'm looking it up and, well, there didn't seem to be anything. But there was a listing for someone's 8th birthday party. And I thought to myself, isn't this a little bit of a low-paying job for a world professional ventriloquist? And then I saw that they were paid $2,000 an hour, and I said, oh boy! I would do anything for $2,000 an hour, you guys, oh my.
I would do anything for $2,000 an hour. But when that thing turned its head to look at me, I almost walked right out. I was almost like, nope, you guys aren't even paying me $2,000. You guys only paid me $300. Which, by the way, the ventriloquist that I walked past when I was getting in here was going on about $2,000. He was also talking to his hand, but that's beside the point. And he looks at me, and he goes, what exactly is a mortician anyway? And I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. I need to try to fix this. So I reach into my bag again, and I pull out a pair of scissors to, cut open the costume and see what's inside. And that really freaked him out. He was starting to wave his hands and be like, no, please don't. But I noticed that his feet were stuck to the ground for some reason. I was like, huh, interesting. I wonder what that's about. So I went to take a look, and then I saw that they were just strapped in. I was like, huh, that's weird. So I just kind of cut the straps. And then he started moving. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That maybe was a little bit of a mistake, because clearly the straps were there for a reason, and do not touch probably did mean to do not touch. And then he towered over me, because Chuck E. Cheese, whose full name is actually Charles Entertainment Cheese, that's what Chuck E. Cheese stands for, was towering over me like a 7-foot giant, and I was like, please don't hurt me.
Please don't hurt me. Guys, my decree's real, I promise. And after talking with kids for an hour, all I heard were parents being like, meh, meh, meh. You can't make them question their lives, they're only 8. Guys, so while I'm doing this job in the corner, I see another Chuck E. Cheese, and I was like, that's weird, they double booked us. But then this guy went over and cut the straps near his feet, and then it started moving, and it started clunking around, and I was like, really in character, I appreciate it. And then this weird animatronic Chuck E. Cheese just took its fist and pow, punched right through the wall. And it made me think, what is a wall? What is a wall but prisons of our own invention? And I said, yes, Charles, go. Yes, Charles, you get it. He's one of us. He's a philosopher too. Just break down the walls of your mind and set yourself free. Charles, go! So I started helping him. It was Charles and Charles. We were punching the wall out together. He was making a lot more progress than I was. I did not take a PE class as part of my major. And we were just punching this wall, and drywall was flying everywhere. The kids were screaming, but who cares? What is a scream anyway? It was awesome. I noticed a ventriloquist in the corner. He seemed really freaked out. His puppet was like, rah, screaming all over the place. Finally, we had punched a hole in the wall that was big enough to walk through. And walk through it we did. Chucky and I, we took a step out of the prison that was our mind. Out of that Chuck E. Cheese that had become a cell to hold us in. What is a Chuck E. Cheese?
What is a Chuck E. Cheese? With moving animatronics that punch walls and philosophers that keep asking, what is a blank? I just didn't get it. I was there with Daniel and he was going, wah, 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 because that just doesn't happen on a daily, you know? I walked in there, I was there to entertain kids for $2,000 an hour. And I'm just seeing these two people, one a large animatronic and the other a shorter person punching walls. The animatronic was a lot more successful than the other person was. But I thought to myself, you know, a world-class ventriloquist would never let this happen. Do you think that one girl that went on America's Got Talent would let this happen? Oh no, she wouldn't. She would sing her little heart out and stop this mess. So that's what I decided to do. I grabbed Daniel and I said, let's do this, buddy. And he said, wah, 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 wah. So I went on the outside of that wall and I stood in front of the Chuck E. Cheese animatronic and this other person. And I said, I have something to say to you. We get much higher, so high.
So high, my excitement levels were through the roof. Now, if you guys don't know, the best thing for business as a mortician. Now, I'm not saying that I would be the one to cause it, right? Because, you know, that's bad form. But if, say, I were to awaken some ancient animatronic that was rampaging the city, I would make bank. So I just kind of stood there, let them punch through the walls, let them go out into the world, and I was like, all right, time to get into the mortician mobile, get to work, and make some money. Because, you know, I wasn't paid $2,000 an hour, I'm just saying, it's fine. And then the ventriloquist went out and started singing. And I was like, hold on, is he trying to stop my cash flow? I cannot allow that to happen, all right? That's not okay. So I walked out. They punched the wall, so there were these bricks, right? I picked one up. I was like, I have to stop him somehow. And I went up and I tried to. It was pretty bad singing, and I think the animatronic was getting annoyed, so I had to act fast. I was like, excuse me, sir. And he looks at me, but he didn't stop singing. I was like, you have to stop. And I noticed his hand, puppet looked a little bit like a mini Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know what that was about. So I had to do it. I took the brick and I threw it. And the puppet shot up and grabbed it. I froze. I couldn't believe it. And as the glove spit the brick back at me, aimed towards my chest, I realized not every death is exactly profitable for me. And then I died.
But what is death? If we are imprisoned within our minds, how can we ever truly be living? The mortician next to me did throw a brick and it went directly through his chest, and now he is on the ground, which is not a great situation. But are we even really our bodies? Or are we our souls that ascend to a plane we can't even comprehend? That was my thesis. I know a lot about it. I was like, man, this is getting a little scary now. What is fear, if not what I am feeling at the moment? So I looked at the animatronic and I was like, okay, this is less fun than it was when we started punching walls. How are you feeling? What's going on inside that robot mind? You know? Like, really? Let's take off the mask. I took off the mask. I said, what is it? Is it maybe your fear? Is that what the mask is? Is that what the point of the mask is? I looked at Chuck E. Cheese in his little robot eyes, and I said, what do you really want out of life? What makes Chucky happy? And he thought about it, and he looked at the ground, and he looked at me, and he looked at his fist, and he looked at me, and he pulled back his fist, and he kind of shot it forward at me. And I was like, oh, what is death? This is death. And as Chuck E. Cheese's fist came rocketing towards me, I died.
Oh my god.
Sometimes life gives you a moment to realize who your real friends are. And when that brick shot at me, I thought, what is death? Sorry, I don't know where that came from. But I thought to myself, this is it. And Daniel, he caught that brick and threw it straight back at the mortician who threw it at me. And I said, Daniel, you saved my life. The other guy, the shorter guy, and the Chuck E. Cheese were having a conversation about something, but I couldn't help but stare into Daniel's eyes. You saved me. Why would you do that? Because I love you. And I said, Daniel, I love you too. And then we sang a duet. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. Beauty and I wasn't paying attention to what was happening. And suddenly, I felt a sharp pain to my face. I looked to my right. The Chuck E. Cheese animatronic was standing. The shorter one had fallen. And it seems so was I. It punched me square in the jaw. I fell to the floor. It was dizzy. I didn't know what to do. And I felt it. Blood on the back of my head. The light, it was growing brighter. And so I decided to say one last goodbye to the person that cared about me the most in this world. Daniel. I'm laying down there on the ground. He's above me. And I say, Daniel, I'm going to a better place now. And he looked at me and he said, we will go hand in hand. He fell upon my face. And with that, I died.
Oh, guys, I'll help you.
I'm gonna cry.
Improv is a horrible, horrible thing.
I will retrieve.
Okay. I feel like we need some recovery time from that. But our next game is Random Lines, and this calls for 3 improvers, Kooky, TBD, and Beetle.
Oh no.
They will be stuffing their pockets with lines that you guys wrote out there in the lobby and performing a scene in which every so often they have to pull a line out of their pocket and say whatever's on that slip of paper. And it will be very fun. So,
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, just shove them in. Just shove them in.
we'll see if they were naughty or nice as they reach into the stocking.
That's quite in theme with the
It is.
show.
Thank you. So, can I get a location for these 3? No.
Walmart.
They are on a mini golf course. All right, let's begin.
All right, so you're 7 over par. I don't know how you can fail at this. It's like just one.
Dad, why did you bring us here?
Listen, mini golf is not a sport. It's a lifestyle.
Really?
You know, my pop.
I thought we were going to the arcade. Why did you... We're not going to play real golf with you, so why do you think we're going to play fake golf with you?
Listen, you want to know what my dad told me when he gave me my first putter? Can you make that vegan?
Look, okay, I know it's one of your greatest dreams to go to an all-tofu mini golf course. But did you really have to pick mini golf for my 28th birthday? Dad, I'm not 7!
Listen.
Yeah. I don't want to be here. I wanted to do laser tag.
I mean, we could have done something way cooler. We're gonna... I'm loving it! Da-da-da-da-da. I mean, who doesn't love McDonald's?
I want an ice cream. Can we get ice cream on
You could have gotten a Happy Meal.
Yeah, I think we get Happy Meals.
Kids,
I think it's all Dad's fault.
listen. Take the putter and close your eyes. No. Feel its form. It's machinations.
It's definitely metal.
What can this thing do?
It's sticky.
Shouldn't have picked boomers.
You know what Mom says about sticky stuff? She says, do these shoes make my eyes pop? That's what she always says. And she's not here, so clearly she thinks that this putter will not make her eyes pop. And I say, if it's not gonna make your eyes pop, what's the point in doing it?
Okay, listen, I'll take this thing.
Yeah.
It's stained orange. Ugh, gross.
Reminds me of that one time when I turned 12 and you made us all hail Emperor Ben Muley.
Oh, that was so stupid.
You made us go to the Church of Ben to pray for my 7th birthday party.
Are you kidding me? Doesn't he literally play? He plays like Valorant or something.
Gee whiz. What a day. Now, listen, if you make this hole, the little windmill will actually give you a message, and it's a really important one. It's actually, all I want for Christmas is...
Oh, I know what you want for Christmas. It's toilet wine. Can we get toilet wine? I think you're a little bit too young for that.
Hey. Yeah. Maybe look at the tofu windmill. Yeah. Doesn't it just make you want to eat it? You know, just right there.
No one eats the tofu windmill. You know
Maybe
what
this kid does.
You know what they say.
Maybe this kid's different. Maybe he's Chuckles Dutchman.
I wanted to go back to the
That would be quite the problem.
No, guys. We have done mini golf at the tofu mini golf reservoir for years. We've been here ever since the slogan said, "This is why I quit my job at Rizzatoni's."
The slogan's kind of stupid now, because now it's water purifier.
I don't know if that has to do with looks like it purifies water.
Yeah, it does not purify water. It probably makes it
They just
icky.
keep on coming up with really weird, related
It's like
to
postmodern
things that you can
slogans.
drink. Yeah.
Listen, do you know what that slogan meant?
No.
Rizzatoni's shouldn't give you that W Riz. Rizzatoni's?
I really hope the 173 was the one.
I wanted a Rizzler show today. It did not happen.
All right, next game. It's your favorite one. We're gonna be doing Kicking It. This calls for the Kid, Dunebuggy, and Beetle. know how this game works, which, I mean, who doesn't? So these three are going to be doing a scene, which you will be given a location from you guys. And they will act out the scene until some sort of conflict, or maybe someone wants to go on a rant, and then I will ring the bell. I'll say, kicking it old school, whoever does whatever. So, whoever does whatever. After, a few seconds, not seconds, minutes, I don't know, we will do rap battles, where if any conflict arises between two people, they will have to roast each other, and they'll be awesome. So can we please get a location?
The border of Ohio.
Santa's workshop? Yeah. Begin.
Guys, we are way under on toy production for this year.
Yeah, and that's not my fault. Hello?
I'm supposed to be watching you guys, and that's what I'm doing. I was told to supervise,
Well, are
and I'm
you
supervising.
watching this?
It's interpretive dance. Let him express himself.
It takes 2 minutes. Oh my God, we are elves. We are here for one purpose, and that is to wrap presents.
I'm here for
Okay.
another purpose.
Kicking it old school, the kid.
I seriously cannot believe myself. You should be an elf on the shelf. You are literally just useless, and me? Look at me. I'm just the best. I do everything with style, and it doesn't take me a really long while. I think I should just take your job. Come on, hand it over. Give me your elf fog.
No,
You do not deserve this job.
Maybe you're only here for the job, but I'm here to express myself. I see the North Pole as new grounds that we can really, we can change the toy manufacturing business as a whole. Yeah.
Change?
How? With style.
Kicking it old school, Dunebuggy.
Santa's workshop, it needs more art. All of our toys have to come from the heart. Guys, if we're doing this all wrong, come on, listen to my little elf song. I know how to make Christmas better. The toys, they need to be better. Obviously, how have we not looked at this? You guys are writing really bad Christmas lists if you think you can just give kids whatever.
Hold on. Are you criticizing the big man?
I think maybe he could have a little more artistic vision.
It's kind of true. Have you seen him lately? He just kind of...
Nintendo.
Okay, first off, it's Nintendo, Xbox, then Nintendo.
Oh my God.
There's variety, actually. And
Why
I really don't think, we're elves. We don't exactly have many job opportunities.
Well, have you heard the rumor that if you kill Santa, you become him?
Kicking it old school, Beetle.
I think that if we can overtake Santa, then finally we won't be stuck drinking Fanta. Maybe we can actually get workers' rights. We can start a union. We can go on strikes. Maybe we'll health care at last. Then we won't have to sit here and fast, because if we eat, we'll have to go to the doctor. That would kind of suck, to go to the doctor.
But I don't want to risk my job. We're here to give children joy. What is Christmas without us?
Yeah, they can't do Christmas without us. If we go on strike, you'll have no choice,
Why do we need Christmas?
Because all of these kids, they need to be happy. This is such a celebration of joy and presents.
Look, if we want an artistic future, joy does not spark art.
Yes, it does.
Rap battle. Beetle. And the kid.
Whoa!
If you really want the world to have art, then think about it. Art is made for farts. The farts are for attention to happen. If we go and we think with vivacity, if we're sad, if we have anger and passion, then finally we won't have to eat rations. We can draw, we can paint, we can style, and then we can be like Harry Styles. Yes.
Guys, honestly, I don't like the shift. I'd rather just sit here and wrap some gifts. I mean, look at this, toy boats and toy cars. I know I won't really go very far in this job, but I'm really happy and I don't want to get all sassy, but we're bringing joy into these kids' lives. And really, have you talked to your wives? Because I think have some input on whether or not you are giving up your job
Don't bring our
to
wives
go
into
on
this.
strike.
You didn't have to bring up Linda.
And Kathy.
Okay, but I'm sorry, they deserve to have a say in whether or not you give up the only job available for elves. I mean, we don't have the pointy ears, we're not the
Wait a
Lord of the
second.
Rings style ones, so we
Wait,
can't do much
no.
else.
No. We can do something else.
We can be the dentist.
Yes! Dentist for you guys! I hear it's a budding new business.
Yeah, wait.
We can profit off the candy we're giving to children.
Yes!
And we
Well,
can take
you
their
stay
rotten
here.
teeth.
You can stay here and be our inside man.
Yeah, capitalism.
Yes!
Yes.
I wouldn't happen to get a portion of your profits, now would I?
5%.
50,
10,
12,
2,
20,
1,
6,
8,
19,
6, 6.
Oh, it stopped. Well, guys, it's that time of night again. It's our final game of the night. This game is Storytime. So this calls for all of our improvers. Get up here. You're first.
I'm first.
Look at the company, guys. All right, and the way that this game works is all of our improvers are going to be standing in a line, and we will have one person leave the stage to be the end of our story, and have one person stay on stage and be the beginning of our story. The story having to start with, it was the day something. And every time we go through the line, our improvers will gradually fill in for the middle of the story until we have one cohesive, beautiful piece of media. And yeah, so Kooky is going to be the beginning of our story, which means we need a prompt. So it was the day blank. Shout it out.
It was the day that walrus.
Wait.
Oh, I've made my decision.
No!
It was the day we played D&D.
No!
That stands for Dungeons and Dragons.
Dear God.
Look at them.
What? Whoa! What'd you look at that? Gritty Christmas. Shut up.
Happy New Year.
Oh.
It was the day we played D&D.
And that was the day I finally learned how to tie my shoes.
It was the day we played D&D.
I was so excited. Finally, I'd been waiting for a year. I talked to my friends. I was like, all right, we'll do it Friday. And then one of them was like, oh no, I have to play, I have a basketball game Friday, I'm sorry. And then I was like, okay, no problem, next week. And they're like, oh no, we have rehearsal all of next week for the amazing drama production. This is multiple, there were multiple, it was great. I was like, okay, what about the next week? And this went on for 4.5 years. Until finally, on the day we graduated, none of us had anything. We could finally play D&D. I was so ready to be the dungeon master. I was going to be the best dungeon master ever. The dungeon master is the one who kind of tells the story and guides the players in this amazing world. I was ready. I had real torches in my room to set the mood, you know? And I had like staffs and swords, just, you know, I didn't know what people would want, so I just had everything. And the dice were set, they were custom. I'd spent 1 out of those 4.5 years carving them myself. And I was so ready. And my phone buzzed, and I got a text. and it said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be just a little late." I was like, "Oh, no problem. It's fine. You know, stuff happens. It's fine." Everyone else was gonna come on time anyway, right? And then the door rang. The door rang? Yes, my doorbell actually sounds like a knock. It was kind of my design. I spent another one of the years designing a bell that sounded like knocking on wood. It was great. And then, so I walk over to the doorknob ring, and I open it.
And that was the day I finally learned how to tie my shoelaces.
Do you have to start again?
The story is getting crazy, guys.
It was the day we played D&D.
I was so excited. I've been trying to set this up with my friends for forever. I was like, all right, this Friday we can do it. And one of them was like, no, sorry, I broke my leg. I was like, okay, that's a fair excuse. Let's not. We can postpone it another week. That's how long broken legs take to heal, right? And they were like, oh, sorry, next week I'm going on vacation. And they were all going on vacation at the same time, which I found rather weird. Anyway, 4.5 years later, finally, we were all together. The one day we were all free, our graduation day. I was like, yes, we can play Dungeons and Dragons. I was so excited to be the dungeon master, the person who kind of leads them all. I'm kind of a big deal. Anyway, I had everything set up. My living room had torches on the walls for the ambiance, you know, and I had all the food, like bread and other medieval foods that I didn't really know of, but they looked cool, so I bought them. And I had swords and staffs and weapons and stuff because I didn't know what each person would like. And I was just sitting there waiting. My phone buzzes and I get a text and I pull it out and it says, hey guys, I'm gonna be just a little bit late. I was like, oh, no problem. You know, one person, it happens, it's fine. Everyone else is coming, right? And the doorbell knocks. It's another one of my inventions. I'm something of an inventor. Just like the dice that I spent a year out of the 4.5 carving, this is another year, the doorbell that knocks. And yeah, I could hear the thunder in the background because it was a really rainy night. And so I walk over to the doorknob bell and I open the door.
And in my doorway, there's a mailman. It's not any of my friends, it's a mailman in his blue uniform. I say, what do you want from me, Mr. Mailman? He hands me a letter. He says, you have been served. This is a cease and desist letter. And I say, why? What do you mean? And he says, your D&D campaign. And I say, what about my D&D campaign? The world hasn't seen it yet. He says, well, I'm a mailman from the future. And in the future, I can tell. I've seen your D&D campaign. It becomes so famous. It's entirely plagiarized. And who is it plagiarized from? Well, a couple years ago, there was a small underground indie group called Improv the Nation. They had an elaborate D&D campaign planned out. And you, I don't know if it was conscious, if it was subconscious, this mailman said, but you stole the entire lot, bit for bit. And I came from the future to tell you that that's really mean of you.
And that was the day I finally learned how to tie my shoelaces.
It was the day we played D&D.
It was finally time. I've been gunning for this for so long. 4.5 years, okay? That's like high school and half of 8th grade. That's not a short time, okay? I was like, hey guys, how about this Friday, right? And they were like, no, sorry, I have to be somewhere. I was like, where? He's like, oh, nowhere. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So next week then? And they were like, yeah, maybe, sure. And then nothing. Anyway, so I had my living room all set up, right, to be the best dungeon master ever. That's the person who kind of leads everything. Anyway, I had the dice that I'd hand carved. It took me a year out of the 4.5 because I had nothing else to do. And then I had torches on the walls and weapons and medieval food and everything. A fire was crackling in the fireplace. It was everything you could need. And then I was just waiting, and my phone buzzed, and I pull it out. And it says, hey, I'm gonna be just a little late. I was like, oh, no problem. You know, happens, stuff happens. It's really rainy outside, there's a lot of noise, it's kind of scary. But you know, it just adds to the mood, right? So I said, no problem. And then the door rings. Oh, I was like, what? Oh, that's my new doorbell that I spent another year inventing because, you know, I'm something of a scientist myself. So I walk over to the door and I open it.
And in that doorway was not one of my friends, not the face of one of my comrades, but a strange, unfamiliar face of a man in a blue uniform that read, "Mail." The mailman, I thought, how can this be? But he hands me a letter, and he says, "You have been served. This is a cease and desist letter. I am from the future. You have plagiarized the entirety of your story from a small, underground indie group called Improv. And I've come to tell you that in the future, when your D&D campaign that you are currently writing and have not showed to the world becomes so popular, you will incur great trouble, and everyone will think of you as a really big meanie, and I think that's pretty poopy." That's what the mailman said to me.
Of course, I was thinking of starting a group called Improv the Nation, and when he left, something fell out of his pocket. It was the entire script of the campaign in which he told me about. That's right, this is a bootstrap paradox. I read through and I was like, this is perfect. This is amazing. And the information has come from nowhere. This is a great use of learning how time travel works, except not really. But then I realized, I was like, bootstrap paradox? Straps? I flicked up my shoes. What the heck? All this time I told myself I'd learn how to tie my shoes. These 4 long, gratuitous years. If I never got to it, I guess I was just stalling for time because I knew that if I could tie my shoes, then I'd have to accept that I'm a big boy now, and sometimes friends grow apart. So I was very perplexed on what to do next.
That was the day I finally learned how to tie my shoes.
Oh, guys, this is really sad.
Got a moral now.
All right. It was the day we played D&D.
So excited. 4.5 long years of waiting had led up to this one moment. I was for weeks, I was like, hey guys, does this Friday sound good? And they were like, no, sorry, we were gonna go to that concert. And I was like, what concert? And they were like, you know, the one for your favorite band. And I was like, oh, right, I wish I could go. Apparently it was really fun. I saw them all on Instagram. It was fine. But I hadn't spent those 4.5 years doing nothing, no. I'd spent the time carving these amazing dice for Dungeons and Dragons because, you know, dice, you need them. That was gonna be the best dungeon master ever. Okay, I had my living room all set up. There were torches and a fireplace and weapons because, you know, that's how D&D works. There's like weapons and I didn't know which one they'd want, so I just got one of everything. It took a while, but I got it, and we had like medieval food. I was like, all right, I'm so excited. And so I sat down and I waited and I waited and I waited, and then I get a text. And it says, hey, I'm gonna be just a little bit late. I was like, oh, no problem. You know, things happen. It's okay. It's okay. They haven't done this 16 other times. It's fine. It's fine. And then the doorbell knocks. Another one of my inventions. And yeah, I know. If you want one, please message me. I'm a little bit broke. So I was like, who could that be? I thought he was running. Okay, so I walk up and I open the door.
And in the doorway, I see not one of my friends, one of my comrades, one of my loyal D&D campaign members who have yet to attend a meeting. I see a strange and unfamiliar face of a man in a uniform that reads in bold letters across the chest, M-A-I-L, mail. It's the mailman. And he looks me in the eyes and he says, son, this here in my hand is for you. And I take it excitedly. I think, is this maybe a letter from one of the several friends that has ghosted me over the years? I open this letter. It is a cease and desist. This mailman says to me, son, I'm from the future.
I'm from the future, and your D&D campaign is amazing. It's brilliant. It's going to become so famous, but the issue is you have plagiarized every single bit of it from a small, amazing underground indie group with one specifically amazing, really cool person called Beetle called Improv the Nation, and you've stolen their entire campaign. That's just a really cruel thing to do. And in the future, if you don't stop, if you continue on this current track you are on, everyone will call you a meanie poo-poo head.
Now let me explain how this whole thing works. So imagine you really like Beethoven. You just love Beethoven, you have every single one of his CDs, you have every single one of his sheets. So you decide to build a time machine and go back in time to when Beethoven was born so you can meet your hero, but you go back and Beethoven doesn't exist. So you decide, you know what? I have all these sheets of music, all these scriptures. I'm going to become Beethoven. So over the time, you become Beethoven, but when did you ever learn about Beethoven? Was Beethoven ever born? Was it just you the entire time? Where did this source of information come from? This is exactly what happened at my front door Tuesday. I was gonna make a group called Improv the Nation, and out of his pocket fell a little script for a campaign, a little book. I looked inside, I was like, this is the best campaign ever written. But then I remembered, it's the bootstrap paradox. Boots? Shoes? I looked down, threw it away. You know, friendship is a lot like a shoelace. Sometimes you think it can be like Velcro, easy to snap on and off. Just so much easier to just repair those broken connections. But sometimes you have to learn how to tie your shoes, take those broken connections and form something new. Tie it all together, but I didn't want to accept it. I didn't know what to do.
And at that moment, shoes untied, my brain just flooded with all this time travel knowledge. Walked in two of my friends, Ray and Anjali. What are you doing here? I said, and they said, come to play your D&D campaign. And I thought to myself, maybe I am the Velcro. Maybe the Velcro was inside of me all along. And I said, I can't spend any more time worrying about all of this. I have to take life by the chances. You know, I can start this campaign. I can do whatever I want. So we went to my table and we started playing the campaign, and it was amazing. They loved it. It was the best day ever. And when they went home, they turned to me, they said, that was a lot of fun, Ben. I said to them, and I said, yes, it was. Gee whiz, I'm glad you guys came. And then I stopped them at the door. I said, hey, you know, I was thinking we should do this more often, and I think I have a really cool idea. And they said, what is that idea? And I said, have you ever heard of improv? And so I started the group known as Improv the Nation. I took life by the bootstraps, shoelace, and I tied it all together. And not only did I tie those relationships together, I learned how to tie my shoes in the process. And I proved to everyone that you don't have to be the Velcro. You don't have to be anything. Adapt, improvise, and overcome!
And that was the day I finally learned how to tie my shoes. That's actually our origin story. That's how we started.
All right, everyone. We are Improv the Nation. That was our show. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We're gonna take our bow now.
Oh my God.
Oh, for real? Before we go, we just. Oh, Roboman! While we're celebrating Roboman, I just want to say one last big, huge happy birthday to
That was yesterday.
They don't know that. They don't need to know.
Yeah, anyways.
All right, guys.
Thank you guys for coming out and have a very, very awesome special night. Oh, we have to say the thing though. You don't have to go home, but you can stay here. Good night.
Guys, drop everything.
I love you, Roboman!